Okay, part two, UX21 with ultrabooknews.com. In a live session, we're going over the ASUS ZenBook UX21. In this session, we want to look a little bit more at the screen. I've talked about the keyboard a bit in a private chat session before this video started recording. We'll go into boot, standby, video, browser, and some apps. But first, let's have a look at the screen. Viewing angles on this, not too bad. I mean, left and right, really no problems. I don't have any problems with that. There is some fading away quite quickly there, and also some inversion on the in the other direction as well. So you've got a fairly fine range in the middle, and it seems to me to be the point at where the screen is fully extended backwards, and that is its full extension. It won't go any further back than that. So those of you that flatten it out and lay in bed and have it on your bellies, it won't work for you like that. But I don't have any problem with the angles. I think when you're using a laptop, you're generally sitting directly in front of it anyway. So it's tablets where the viewing angles to me become more important. Right, let's give you boot up test. I'm going to shut it down now, and we'll see how long it takes to boot up. In this device, you've got a 128 gig, and this is the ADATA SSD, which is super quick, up to 500 megabytes a second, right? Read speed at large block sizes. Down to sort of 20 megabytes at small block sizes, which is really good. It's fantastic disk. It's the fastest disk I've ever tested. Although I have to admit, I've been working in a small form factor field and not the big laptop field. So this is maybe something you'll see in high-end SSD based devices. But looking at reviews, I see most people seem to be quite pleased with the figures. Right, let's hit the button and count up. Actually, let's get a little bit of a clock on the screen in front of me so that I can time this. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There you go, 21 seconds boot, including post. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. 21 seconds booting into Windows 7, and this is a home premium build, and I've got quite a bit of software installed here. Let's go into standby then. I'll just let that. I'm obviously still doing stuff in the background there, but I just want to close it up and show you the instant start. And this is a great feature of the Ultrabooks. You just basically don't have to turn the devices off ever, because it will last in standby. That's gone into standby now. It will last in standby for many days. The standby drain is very small on these devices. I think up to 7 days on the UX21. I can't remember what they say, but a week is probably a sensible figure to use. Alright, let's open it up and see how long it takes to switch on, and that's literally just a second. Let's go in. By the time we're in, we are connected to the internet anyway, so you know, it's a tablet takes a second to switch on and connect to the internet. If it's not connected to the internet, this isn't much slower. There's the little widget that they've installed to show you battery life here. So you've got a standby time here, 5 days 20 hours on that. We're showing battery life of 4 hours 15 minutes at the moment, and it tells you how much charge. It charges in about 2 hours. If it's charging, it will tell you the time to finish charging there. Charging in about 2 hours is not bad at all, but then again, this does have a fairly small battery to charge in it. Right then, some of the apps that are pre-installed now. I've got a ton of apps installed already on this, but I just want to go through some of the ASUS apps. Some are useful, some not so useful. So we have, and I'm just gonna go through them here. ASUS Live Update is for firmware BIOS updates, and driver updates. That's useful. We've got PowerWiz, which is their version of the power modes. So they've got 4 power modes: Quiet Office, Entertainment, Performance, and Battery Life, which do various things with CPU, GPU throttling, and other things as well. Screen brightness, standby time, etc., etc., etc. We've got Secure Delete, which is file cleaner, camera application, the e-manual, it's a PDF file. Live Frame is the web. Oh yeah, virtual camera. There's a face recognition thing for logging in called Smart Logon. We've got the wireless on off. What else have we got? I don't know. PowerWiz is for the USB sleep and charge, I believe. Let's have a look. Oh no, that's the PowerWiz is the actual widget there. But there is an app for USB sleep and charge, and there's an app for setting up. Oh yeah, Power for Gear is the app for setting up the different power profiles. So all of them are kind of useful. I wouldn't delete any of them, but there's quite a lot of them there. There wasn't much else apart from Nuance, which is a PDF reader of text to voice, I guess. And what else did we have that was on here? Trend Micro Titanium Internet Security Suite, and I don't know if that's a global thing or just something in Germany. So that's some of the pre-installed software there. Let's take a look at the video capability of this, because there's hardware decoding for video decoding and video encoding hardware in here. So I mean, everything I've thrown at it works up to 30 megabit per second, full HD, full HD progressive video without any problems. In fact, it ran that at about 8% CPU. Now you know Windows 7 will only support MPEG 2, MPEG 4, H.264, I think DivX and Xvid if you're lucky out the box. So you know, if you've got some special containers, MKV for example, it probably won't play those back out the box. But let's give you a little bit of an example. And the speakers are really nice for watching video as well. Let's go to, where are we? I've got the videos here, and we'll just pick out a few that we've got here. Here is, let's have a look. I mean, this is a 7.5 megabits per second. What is it? It's a Windows Media video file. You won't be able to see the quality of this, unfortunately, on the video, but it is absolutely flawless. Although this is a rendered video, which is not at full frame rate anyway. Let's choose something else. It's a nice 720p video, which, I mean, these are all running in absolutely almost zero CPU. That will go down now. That's running at 10% CPU there, and that's mainly audio decoding. 1080p. Let me just show you the big file that I had before, the 30 megabit per second one, just to prove that that's going to work. Where did I put that? I think I put it here. So if this is a full HD. Yeah, again, you won't be able to see it on this video, but it's perfectly smooth, and I guess more important to you might be to see what sort of CPU rate, and that's again 13%. So everything's being done in hardware and video. It's just the audio that's putting a little bit of load on the CPU, but you know, you won't get anywhere near that on a netbook. So that's really nice video playback performance. Maybe later I'll show you video encoding performance. No, I'm going to show you right now actually. So this is a 30 megabit per second video I'm now going to convert it to an iPad format video, just using the Intel QuickSync Video is what they call it. That's the SDK and the hardware that's inside the device that allows you to convert the videos really quickly. Let me see. Oh, I actually want to start the separate app, not this one. Or do I? Let me just close that. Sorry. Start the full app up. You'll be able to see what's going on. And then I'll drag the 150 megabyte file in. And then we'll convert that 30 megabit per second 1080p file to an iPad format, or an Apple format. And we've got iPad 2 I've chosen here, and watch how quickly that converts. Overwrite the existing file, and let's go. So it's a 50-second file, and once that gets started, which it's not doing. Hello. Oh, it started now. Okay, we're in kind of a power saving mode here, and it's going to take about 1 minute, but I'm going to switch that up to high performance mode now. Let's see what happens now. And that's already a quarter of the way through, a third. It's halfway through. Under mains power it goes even faster than this, but the point is, if you're taking 1080p video in the field and you want to push something quickly up to YouTube, you could just run it through its converter really quickly, work in 720p or even 480p, push something up to YouTube really quickly, or to your press desk or whatever you need to do, and you've still got the 1080p in your pocket for the high def stuff if you want to upload that at a later date. And that's done, and that took 53 seconds, so it's 1x 1x conversion time on a 1080p is not bad at all. And it can handle this. This is Cyberlink Media Espresso. I actually love this because it pushes up to YouTube really nicely as well. Gives you some nice format conversions. Handles loads of different formats. So that's Intel QuickSync Video in action there. Right. Let's do a quick browser SunSpider test, because SunSpider is one you can compare with other devices. SunSpider. Now, is SunSpider still single-threaded? I don't know. I don't think it is. I'm going to start the task manager to see if all the CPUs start getting to work. They're not really working that hard. It's spreading the load across across the 4 cores, well, 2 cores plus 2 hyperthreading. It's doing a 15% load, and it's going to return, it's finished now, 323 milliseconds. So it's about 10x as fast as a decent smartphone, as the iPad. It's about 8x as fast than the iPad 2. It's about 4x faster than a netbook, and that's just on JavaScript, and obviously the CPU wasn't really being pushed, so it wasn't really optimized for this sort of multi-core operation anyway. I think at that point it might be worth mentioning Turbo Boost, because Turbo Boost, if you don't know what it is, it allows the CPUs to overclock given if they have enough thermal headroom in which to overclock. So if it's a cool device, the core will detect it's cool and will allow one or more cores to overclock until the device heats up. What it means is your nominal 1.8 gigahertz device can overclock to 2.8 gigahertz. This one, I think, and if we just run that SunSpider test again, we should see on the right hand side that's gone to 2.7 gigahertz now, 2.6, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.6, and that's getting 2.7 gigahertz out of that CPU. So that's one of the really nice features of Sandy Bridge, is this turbo feature. Now, it really has to be mentioned at this point that within the tight thermal confines of an Ultrabook, there isn't a lot of thermal headroom for these things to overclock. But ASUS seem to have built in a really nice powerful fan here. Now that powerful fan, when things get going, does get noisy. In normal situations you don't even hear it. I can't even hear it right now, to be honest. But when you're gaming and when you're doing video rendering, that fan really exhausts nicely and allows the device to keep turbo overclocking for quite a long time. In fact, it will start to knock it down from 2.8 down to 2.3 to 2.2, and I've seen it knocking around 2.2 to 2.1 at a full load. So you're getting a good 20% over the top of the 1.8 gigahertz in almost every scenario, which is really good. I've seen turbo clocking on, for example, the Samsung 900X 3A that knocks back down to 1.8 gigahertz almost immediately after it starts to work hard. So nice job on the thermal exhaust, on the thermal design here on the UX21, worth mentioning. So obviously the browser's super fast, everything works, 1080p video on YouTube. It's a pleasure, really nice. I mean, it's because of the SSD. I feel it's faster than my desktop, which is interesting. I did connect it up with HDMI and used it for a while, and no problems at all for me. I mean, I'm mainly a web worker, so I guess not too much of a problem there. I'm just glancing over to the chat room here. People still coming in, and just seeing if there's any questions. Mic is right next to webcam. Okay, good question. There's a mic to the left of the webcam. There's a little LED indicator to the right to show that your webcam is on. It's a pretty poor quality webcam, to be honest. I think it's VGA, and there's no real great low light performance in it, so could have been a bit better. It's going to be okay for Skyping, and Skyping with your parents or your daughter, whichever way around it is, or your girlfriend. No problems at all. In fact, in some cases you might want a fuzzy pic, who knows. Right, mic in. Someone wants mic in. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware, sorry, it's a headset port here, not a headphone port. I haven't been able to test that though, unfortunately, at the moment. Who's ending the discussion on the touchpad? And what is feeling as slow as hell? Okay. Phoronix for benchmarking, blah 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 blah. Mic on the screen. Yeah, so I wish I had a headset here that I could maybe test. Maybe we'll do that in a minute. Remind me later to test it. 1 second. Right. So here's someone's Wi-Fi signal. Good question. Good Wi-Fi signal through 3 walls here. I've got 3 bars. I usually only get 2 bars on most devices, 1 bar on poor devices. I never get more than 3 bars. So as far as I'm concerned, the Wi-Fi is good. It's not 5 gigahertz. It's only 2.4 gigahertz. Band might be important to some people, but it seems pretty strong, the 2.4 gig Wi-Fi there. Right, any more questions before I do the right. The next thing I want to do, what do I want to do? I've done the video, standby, browser, and the apps and the screen. We'll actually call a little bit of a halt to this part of the video, so that we can just stop the recording. Thanks for watching part 2. There'll be a part 3 recorded, where we're going to look at some gaming. Yes. Before I check out though, very cool. I can just detect a little bit of heat in the middle on the back there, just there. There's no heat coming out the front where the vents are, don't worry about that. And a battery life check we need to do. We had some high performance mode work there. We are at 78%. And it is 21:58 by the looks of it. Okay. Right, that's the end of part 2 of the video. Thanks for watching. See you in part 3.